Live from SWAC Media Day here with Jackson State head coach T.C. Taylor. Coach Taylor, man, we talked last year about just stepping into this head coaching job, your expectations. Talk a little about your biggest learning experience last year.
Oh, man, it's a tough league. 12 football teams that really get after it week in, week out. You look at the conference last year. Like I said, 12 teams. We were 7-4 last year. 5 teams had winning records. It's tough in the SWAC. Everybody talk about it's rough in the SWAC, but I learned a lot as first-year head coach. And we're going to continue to rebuild this thing and get ready for this season.
You faced a unique challenge having to replace both defensive and offensive coordinators after your first season. Now, obviously, promote Quinn internally. You're going to be calling plays next year. Mm-hmm. What was that process like? Were you just as soon as the DC came open, Quinn was the guy? And what could we expect from him? What have you seen from him?
Oh man, a high energy guy. That's the state of the business we're in. You're going to lose players. You're going to lose coaches. They're going to move up and move on to other places. But I always try to stay one step ahead with that. I already have that next guy in the building. Quinn was a guy that led that secondary to number one in the interceptions in the nation. Yep. So he's done a great job, and the players believe in him. He brings great energy, like I said. So I'm excited about him. He's going to be an aggressive guy, high energy guy, young, and looking forward to his first opportunity.
Jacoby and Morgan really stepped up big for you guys late in the year. I think 10 touchdowns and 1 interception last year. What do you want to see from him next season? What's next in his development as you being the OC now?
Well, just getting a complete season under his belt. That's the thing. He was injured early in the season. It would have been great to see where he would be at this point. But he's had a great offseason. This summer he's really been working on being a leader of the football team, getting these guys behind him, understanding defenses. When we got him from Syracuse, he didn't play a lot there. So we knew what we were kind of getting last year, work in progress. But he's been good. He's gotten bigger, stronger. These receivers and this offense is believing in him.
You guys have, I think, 12 running backs on the roster, and probably 4 that would start at a majority of other schools.
Really good players.
You get to determine the rotation this year. How are you going to – there's one ball. How are you going to split the carries this season?
Well, the beautiful part about that, all of them got some versatility. These guys, there's some guys back there that can play in the slot, do some things out on the perimeter for us as a football team. But anytime, you can have that many guys in the stable, I'm a guy, I love to run the football. When you get those leads in the game, you got to find ways to, finish football games. And one of our reasons, too, you look at last season, we lost J.D. Martin, we lost Irv Mulligan. So you need those bodies with the banging around that they have to do down in and down out. So that's one reason we wanted to build the depth there.
Special teams was a big thing. I've heard you talk about it in press conferences. I heard you talk about it this all season. Now, some of it was injury because you guys do have an All-American punter that was hurt for some of the year. But addressing kickoff returns, punt returns, how did you guys approach that this offseason, and what were some things that you wanted to see improve going into 2024?
Well, first of all, we brought in Javancy Jones to lead the special teams. He's been doing a great job, our special teams coordinator. He knows the JSU way. He was a great player there, All-American, played on all levels there. So he's been doing a great job with those guys. You talk about talent. There was something we wanted to improve on this summer. We did that. Depth, something right there. And this just the execution piece. I was telling Javancy the other day, I like to return a few kickoffs, and punts. And we got those guys, we talked about a couple of those running backs. Those guys can really return the football, got great speed. But if you look at a couple football games, special teams is some reasons that, we lost those games. And we just got to be better, and I'm going to continue to emphasize that going forward.
One of the big additions this offseason, obviously, is a guy in Robert McDaniel who I think is, we have him ranked as the number 7 safety in the entire country.
He's a pro.
And, he's on the East-West Shrine Bowl list. He's on the Senior Bowl watch list potentially. Talk a little bit about what you saw in his game and where's he going to play? Because we've seen him play corner, we've seen him play slot, nickel, deep safety. How do you see him fitting in your defense?
Just get him on the field. He's that good of a player. You talk about the special team stuff, and that's a good. My guys have a great understanding. That's how you get to the next level. He's going to contribute on special teams, but as a defensive player, you're talking about a highly impactful player. Great size, great speed, can lift the weight room. And they seen him do it. We played Alcorn last year. They beat us, and Rob was a big part of that. But what people don't understand that Rob started out at Jackson State. He was there when I got there in 2019. We recruited him in there. So I know what we're getting out of him, and the future is bright for him. The one thing that the big emphasis is just everybody staying healthy.
Yep.
And if he can stay healthy, he's going to be a special player in this conference, in the country.
I don't want to put any added pressure on you, man, but I've been very vocal that ULM, you guys should be favored going into that game. I think we had it ranked the number 2 biggest upset in the FCS.
Yeah.
Talk about that game. What have you seen on film from ULM? What kind of challenges do they present? And just what would it mean to you? Since 1985, no SWAC team has beaten an FBS
That's
school.
something nobody will never forget. You just talked about 1985, why not in 24? Be remembered that way. And our guys, that's all we're worried about right now is game 1. Coach, they did a great job of recruiting. They brought in a lot of guys that we were recruiting, we went up against, and, he's done a good job of building that football team. I think the challenge is just, that first game, trying to have an understanding of, new personnel, the guys you can't really evaluate schematics, but you still just got to line the football up and go, because we believe in our football team. We got a good football team we're building right now that's had a great summer, and it's going to be interesting, when we go down to Monroe.
Last question, Coach. Just your message to the Jackson State fans that are watching this interview, that are looking forward to the season. What can they expect from this year's Jackson State team?
The depth is so much different than last year. We had some key injuries last year that really hindered us to being great, and the depth is so different. The talent level, the speed of our football team, and the energy of this coaching staff. To be able to add 6 new coaches to this staff, and I'm talking about high energy technicians out there on the football field. So we're excited about it. It's a little different schedule as well. We get the second game at home, third game at home, so we're looking forward to it. They should be excited. And I know we've been kind of quiet over there. We over there been cooking up something a little special for you guys. But these guys, this staff, and these players have really been working their butts off to be successful this year.
Coach, as always, I appreciate you, man. I always look forward to catching up with you. But guys, stay tuned for more content right here from Birmingham for SWAC Media Day.